First of all, thank you very much to all the contributions, to all the speakers. It was really enjoyable for me, on one hand side, and on the other side, very informative. My question is also when I think about the wonderful VR objects yesterday in the exhibition. It is really nice to have VR glasses on it and to have a look inside and to turn around and move, but it is always that I feel very alone because I'm the only one who is in this space. So when is it possible that I take, for example, my friends or my colleagues inside, that I see the space, and in this space I see not only an avatar, for example, of them? When can I pick them up and say, let's go inside and have a wonderful evening in the virtual reality?
I would point this to Ralf Schäfer.
So is it on?
Yeah.
I mentioned that we still need 12 hours for 1 minute. So we are a bit far away from real time, and to see really the people in their real shape moving in real time, we need to speed up a bit. And so that's still a long way to go. Of course, we are working on that. And especially for certain application. For example, we are using VR for the treatment of handicapped people. So the thing we try to do is that they see their own hands and that they see their own legs. So that's the first step. But of course, the ultimate goal would be to see a number of people in their real behavior together in the real world, but we are still a bit far away from.
Thank you.
Sönke? Or everybody?
I totally agree, but would add that, of course, it always depends a little bit on the quality that you expect. As I showed, you can get like a live preview out of it, and of course, you can bring that more or less live into VR. There will always be a delay of some milliseconds or whatever. It doesn't only depend on the quality and the recording technology that you use. You must consider as well, of course, what kind of computer do you have in your environment and the other people that you're going into VR with and the bandwidth that you're using. So there's a couple of constraints right now that might make it more or less impossible to have a live telepresence thing in VR. But technically, it might be possible in an intranet or something like that right now. So, and it's always a matter of budgets.
Diego?
Yeah, just adding up to that, we've done even some examples where in a conference you give, for example, a Google Cardboard to every member, and I think a colleague of mine has been able to put around 200 people from the audience in a shared web VR space. Again, the quality that you're getting from the avatar is quite simple, but you're getting at least, for example, synchronization of where the person is looking and what are, for example, if there's any, where are the positions of the hands. So if you think about examples that are already out there, hubs by Mozilla, you can already chat, you already have spatial sound, voice coming from your avatar. You have several companies like LearnBright that they have a full avatar system symbol as well. So you can just kind of like mix which technology with the different environment that you're building, and you're able to, in one way or the other, get at least more people collaborating in a scene. And even going away from the web technologies, Oculus has the Oculus Rooms where you can already have your avatars and it's syncing between the Rift, the Go, and the Gear VR, and you can even invite people independent of which device they're working on. So yeah, it is kind of like more or less possible nowadays.
Yes, of course, it depends also on the range of navigation you want to achieve. So if you just have a very limited range, so then we already can do something in real time right now.
Yulu?
Yeah. So from my opinion, just one sentence. So how easy to communicate with, for example, in VR world, it is the how easy that the technology can share the medium with each other. For example, if we can communicate in the display, in the screen, which means we have to use this as a medium to communicate with each other. So this is the key, that it is not only we are talking about to communicate with each other in VR, also in other medium. So actually I think this is the toughest question right now for all of the technologies. Yes.
I hope this answers your question. Perfect. Okay, we have another question there.
Thanks for your fascinating technological introductions. Could you connect them to yesterday's introduction on post-capitalism? I think the beginning quote was something on the eternal return of the new. Basically, my question would be, you talked about democratic technologies and about industry and profit. How can you make technology democratic in a capitalist world right now, where basically, of course, Google and all the other big industry companies allow us in the future to build our own, create our own worlds in AR, VR, etc. But you are the architects of our world building. So there's a hierarchy of democracy.
I think I can answer to that. There was a serious games conference at the CeBIT, and massive multiplayer games are already democratizing. So there are games where 3,000 people online play with each other and build a world together. So you can be the creator in the virtual world, and using this as virtual reality or just a normal computer game. This is already happening, that it is content creation and consumer creation, so to say. So there are different use cases already where you see this happening. Maybe you also have some other examples?
Yeah, I think there's two things for capitalize. For example, if we do anything, I think the perfect way is we separate it in the different part of the work, and we do the executive process as well as we can. So actually, this is, for example, I mentioned about some research of the light field, but actually the Lightro, that company, a lot of people right now working in Google because they do something easier than light field, and they can make it can earn money firstly. And then they go back to the whole workflow and make it one by one. So actually, I think this is the method not only for technology, for everything. So separate it as you could finish that and finalize the executive process as perfect as you can. Yeah.
I guess also you can answer to that, because if with the XR web, I can see the democratizing our worlds is the easiest step in your work, I guess.
Indeed, actually, the fact that anyone can create content, I think that's one of the biggest parts of being democratic. Is it's not ruled by the app stores. It's you can put whatever you want. It would still be an open medium. So I think that's where we still need to do more. And how do we get not only the content easier to create for web developers, for general developers, but how do we put out their tools that allow end users to create content that's really valuable for them? And I do compare a lot with what happened with Stereoscopic 3D a couple of years ago, where I think at the moment, the fact that there's already easier ways to create content that is truly valuable for you, even if it's not the highest quality, like the 360 cameras, things that you can actually publish on social media, that is already better than the state that we were with stereoscopic cameras. And I think that's what we need to keep on pushing forward. How do we enable end users to create content that really matters for them?